Damn, I always wondered why people said that. Uh, Watching all these live streams all the time, but apparently it's actually very, very difficult to tell sometimes. Oh, maybe not. Okay, now I'm live. Okay. Now I am live. Okay. Finally. Okay. So, hey everyone. I'm back with the live stream. The LeeLive, as I'm now calling it. Talking about video games, entertainment, and just general thoughts every single weekday around the same time. I'm so excited to be doing this. So excited to be talking about like some fringe, niche topics, my personal experiences with video games, what I'm personally going through right now, my plans for the weekend. There is a lot of stuff to cover, and I'm just so ecstatic. But the thing that I really wanted to bring up is something near and dear to my heart. Something that I honestly, I don't want to say I'd forgotten it, but it's something that wasn't on, like, the top of my head, if you know what I mean. It's not something I was actively, like, thinking about when I came back to Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario, for the first time, or for the first time in several years. This is a fantastic video game. I'm having an absolute ball with it. I think Super Paper Mario has really proven itself as a legitimately, not quite a classic, I would say, because I do think it has a number of very clear problems, but still a legitimately well-made, interesting, solid game. Like, I don't dislike the game at all. In fact, I quite like it more than I dislike it. If I have a problem with it, it's too simple. The levels could be a bit more elaborate. They could have possibly have a bit more going on, but for the most part, like, I'm pretty enamored with the variety on display here, how the pacing, just the general combat. Like, I do enjoy what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I could argue it could have been more creative. Like, one of the things I'm noticing is that I think the Thousand Year Door has more interesting, like, setups and characters and designs of the characters and stuff like that. Stuff that I really do miss from this one. But for the most part, I really enjoy the out there wacky nature of Super Paper Mario in its own right. And I think the highlight of the entire game, or at least from my recollection so far, I'm only on Chapter 3. I'm on 3-2 now. The big thing that I remember growing up, I think the thing that had the biggest impact on me personally going through this game for the first time was Chapter 3, specifically the antagonist, Francis the Geek, an iguana with his own castle equipped with robot maids, robot cat girls, robot cat maids, with his own private collection of, like, butterflies and anime and just incredible satire of just geek culture in general. It's such an interesting decision to sort of for Nintendo to sort of go after their own audience in this respect, and it's a very unique take on the idea, I think, in which one of your party members, Tippy, is kidnapped by this thing, this nerd, and you have to go out and rescue her. And it leads to a really lasting impression as you go along and see what Francis is like, what Fort Francis is actually like. Dealing with Francis, sort of learning more about him. It's a very interesting experience. I'm pretty sure Super Paper Mario is... I'm pretty sure that segment with Princess Peach is the first dating sim, or the first dating sim mechanic I'd ever seen in my life. And it's this hilarious segment where this iguana tries to win over Princess Peach, and she has to, like, shut him down. It's hilarious. It's really funny. It's memorable. It's engaging, and it made me ask a lot of a lot of questions about myself. This came out when I was quite young. Still quite not sure who I was or what I wanted to be, and I was beginning to question my interest in Nintendo properties. By this point, I was at the age where I realized that a lot of people around me sort of had this deep-rooted disdain for Nintendo products. They were Xbox and PlayStation fans. They liked Tony Hawk Pro Skater and sports games and Call of Duty and Halo and GTA and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I was dicking around with Super Paper Mario, Metroid Prime 3, Sonic and the Secret Rings, Wii Sports. Like, I was a Wii owner during a time where a lot of these kids were being trained to hate Nintendo. It started very, very young, as I recall. Before the Wii even came out, like, I think a lot of gaming magazines were sort of pushing this narrative that the Wii can't compete, that the PS3 is going to smash the Wii, that, like, the Wii is going to be the end of Nintendo and stuff like that. It can't compete with the third. But, like, the same general stuff we hear today, that Xbox and PlayStation were going to have these, like, mind-blowing titles right out of the gate. There was no reason to own a Wii, and as we all know, that did not happen. Much like the Switch, much like what's happening now, the Wii came out and was a huge, huge success, filled with great, amazing video games that completely went under some people's radar, and as a result, people who liked those games, people who liked games like Super Paper Mario, were kind of derided and ridiculed, right? Like, people were making fun of me for liking Nintendo at this point. Well, if I talked about it at all, which I did not back then, which I deeply, deeply regret. Never, ever distance yourself from your interest. It's not a good thing for you. But the thing about Francis, the thing about this character in question is that it really made me think as to whether or not it was normal to like video games, whether it was normal to like this kind of stuff, whether it was socially acceptable. And that was a question that I sort of carried with me for years afterward, right? Like, this was something that I don't think I really came to terms with until I played No More Heroes for the first time and really grew to appreciate just how much I love video games and love myself and love what I want to do with my life and really don't need anyone's approval. It was No More Heroes was one of those games that really changed my life and is a big reason as to why I'm the way I am today now. No More Heroes is the most influential video game, or possibly the most influential fictional media in general, a piece of media in general, to influence me this way. It was downright inspirational. It was downright, like, a major turning point in my life. Like, just more so than I would think things that most people would consider major turning points, like getting out of school and getting a job. Like, for me, coming to terms with the fact that liking video games was not only acceptable, but something cool, something to value, something to treasure, that was like a really important thing for me, right? Understanding that about myself and understanding that about my hobby, it was very, very important. It was a very important realization to me, and it really helped me go along the path I needed in order to reach my dream, to accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish, to do everything I wanted to do, to not be ashamed of how other people might see me, like the assumptions they might make, the judgments they might the way they might talk about me to other people, the judgments they may bring down on me, like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, no matter what, I love Nintendo. Not video games, Nintendo. I love Super Paper Mario. I love this game, and it's interesting the way games can sort of influence your thinking in this regard. There's been all this talk. Like, there are other things I could name. Like, Shadow of the Colossus got me interested in climbing things for a little while there. I would love to get back into that, but unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for that around here. I was into climbing buildings and stuff for a while there. Love Shadow of the Colossus. Games like Devil's Third influenced an interest in military stuff. It's interesting how my love for video games has sort of developed its own interesting sort of approach to learning new things and acquiring new skills and improving my life. Like, I don't think I would be as interested in fitness, for example, if I had not played No More Heroes, because how it emphasizes, like, Travis's... this is the paradox of No More Heroes. I know we were supposed to be talking about Super Paper Mario, but bear with me here. Travis is a complete loser on the surface, but because of his actions, because of what he does, right, outside of the whole otaku thing, like, that's what makes him a Chad. It's interesting how, like, people will call him an otaku, they'll, like, shit on him for it, Sylvia especially, you know, they'll call him, like, pathetic and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, he still gets, like, he still reaches out and takes what he wants, right? Which is to bang Sylvia. That's his entire motivation. It's shallow, right? But there's depth in that. There's depth in that shallowness because this is what he wants. Like, all he wants is to bang Sylvia. Well, supposedly, but yeah, we'll have to talk about No More Heroes symbolism when I get around to replaying again. It's been too long, but my point is that there is no reason to be ashamed over liking video games, manga, anime, I don't know, film, like anything really, cartoons. Like, it's becoming increasingly clear to me that a lot of the people who grew up making fun of me for that sort of stuff, or stupid shit like that, stupid shit like being unsocial and not caring about certain sports meaning football, not being kind of weird, right? Like, those people have become complete failures. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say that I, with my 300 subscription YouTube channel, am actually more successful than a lot of those people. Not on YouTube, but in my personal life and in other regards. I see it all the time, like seeing the crazy weight gain, the debt, the poor decisions, the drugs, like not working, like the list really goes on and on. But it's phenomenal to me. Like, for the longest time, I assumed that there was something wrong with me, that I needed help, or that, like, people were way ahead of me. But in reality, when it all came down to it, I was way better prepared for the future than a lot of these people. And a big part of that, in a weird way, was because video games kept me away from a lot of the things that ruined these people. It's very, very interesting to think about, and it might... Francis the Iguana, this random-ass boss character from Super Paper Mario, does have a role to play in this. This character did directly influence my life in this weird, abstract way, and that's kind of mind-blowing. It just... it's just so bizarre. Is my sound working? Random-ass boss character from Super Paper Mario. I thought I turned I thought I turned it down. All right. Directly influenced my life in this weird, abstract way. Okay. That's kind of I definitely got to figure out how to definitely got to figure out how to get this fixed. Maybe who cares? I don't care. We'll figure it out someday. Okay, yes. Yeah, I was concerned about that. I thought it was okay, but okay, we definitely have to figure this out to make sure it's like ideal. Because I have no idea. Because if I'm going to do a Nintendo Direct reaction, I really need to. I really need to have the sound ideal. So yeah. So that's my Super Paper Mario Chapter 3 thoughts. Love the game. Love Francis. It's fantastic. Okay, so let's see. What else was I going to talk about today? Wait a minute. I closed my window. What was I thinking? Yes, so Catherin, Full Body, and XCOM 2 Collection have been rated for Nintendo Switch in Korea. PlayStation loses more games. Now, I'm not really interested in either of these games for their own reason, but it's always a good thing to see companies making the Switch, making that Nintendo version, abandoning PlayStation exclusivity, and going with the big boys, the real players in the industry, the big N. It's really exciting to see Atlas and whoever makes the XCOM games finally commit to releasing a real Switch game. I've said this for a while now, but XCOM really should have been on Switch a long time ago. Like, Mario Rabbids was basically an XCOM game, and yet the developers didn't immediately follow up with a port like, hey, if you liked Mario Rabbids, buy the real thing. Like, no, they didn't. They sat on it for forever, and so disappointing. And I'm not sure how good XCOM is, how much I would like it. Maybe it's good, but Angry Joe likes it, so I am very skeptical it is good. Oh, that reminds me. I keep changing the topic. Unbelievable. But yes, Angry Joe did come out and hype up the Sonic movie. And this is something that, I've thought a little bit about. I really don't want to see the Sonic movie. I really don't want to. But if I'm going to run like an entertainment live stream every weekday, talking about like everything I'm doing and like talking about my books and stuff like that, like talking about like everything, like if I'm going to talk shit about the Sonic movie, I'm going to have to see it. So it's one of those situations where I am almost certain this movie is bad and people are only praising it because, it's Sonic, Nintendo BTFO, Sega wins again, Sega does what Nintendo don't, like stuff like that, right? I am not impressed with. I don't want to see the movie. I'm not impressed by like what I've seen from the writing or the acting or just the narratives I've heard. I don't really want to see it, but I think for research purposes, or more specifically, video content purposes, I need to see it. So I have to see it to a certain extent. Like, I have to go out and watch Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm thinking I might go ahead and do it this weekend. Like, I'll take some time and go down there and watch it, and then probably come back and live stream my impressions of it. My review. I expect I'll be really angry and pissed off like I normally am. I don't even think like I like Detective Pikachu that much. I was kind of railing on that one, but at least Detective Pikachu got the looks of the characters right, and apparently Sonic can't even do that. Oh no, but they fixed it. I just don't give me that shit. There was a lot more wrong with that trailer than just Sonic's design. It just. And I've heard so many weird conspiracy theories, like, Sonic, it was a stunt, like, it was a publicity stunt, like, Paramount released a bad trailer in order to hype up interest in the movie when they changed, like, that's completely ridiculous. No way. I don't believe anyone when they say that movie is good. I am very skeptical of that. Anyway, Catherin Full Body and XCOM 2 Collection have been rated for Nintendo Switch in Korea, so they've essentially been leaked. Like a real legitimate leak. it's probably this kind of thing that leads to Emily Rogers getting information by the way. It's just random posts on random ratings on boards. It seems that the Nintendo Switch will soon be receiving some awesome third-party titles, as both Catherin Full Body and Xcom 2 Collection have been rated in South Korea for the system. But what about North Korea? PlayStation is the most popular platform in North Korea. Can Nintendo not compete in North Korea? Okay. The Nintendo Switch has been an incredibly successful launch and is even outperformed the Xbox One. It's going to outpace the PS4 too. Yeah. Have been interested in porting their older titles to the Switch. Ooh! That's what they're going with. Like, oh, if you want to play older games, you can get them on the Switch, but the new ones are coming to PS5. So that's what game journalists are going to try to pull next. Oh, if you want the hot new games, you have to get a gaming PC. Just, yep. So yeah, they're on their way, I think. Catherin Full Body is a story-based puzzle game about a man who has to choose between 3 different women. Just sleep with them all. The original version of Catherin ran on the PlayStation 3, and Full Body ran on the Vita, so there should be no issues with the game on Switch. It really shouldn't have come out on the Vita to begin with. More concerning is Tactical Strategy Xcom Collection, as the game is notorious for its long load times on more powerful systems. Yeah, so they're spinning this narrative that like, oh, can Switch handle these games? It just... Yes, maybe I'll buy Catherin just to like shit on it, because Catherin to me is kind of the defining example of the mature games for mature game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so many people back when this game first came out, like, we're pointing to it as like some artistic, some super deep, complex romance drama for adults. Like, gaming is finally grown up with Catherin. It was a joke, and I found it completely laughable, and I didn't care for it at all. And I think I was not too impressed. It's coming to Switch, so I guess I can buy it now. I guess I could try it, but I'm not sure I'm gonna like it, and as a result, I might pass on it. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure it's not very good. I'm almost sure of that, and I don't like the fans. I don't like what Atlas has been doing with their like ports. Like, why did it take so long for this game to be ported? Where's Persona 5? Like, where's the updated Nintendo Switch version of Persona 5? Like, what's taking them so long? Like, why are they dicking around with Vita ports and re-releases of old games? Like, come on, just make the Switch and stay on the Switch. XCOM, I'm probably a bit more optimistic too. I love strategy games, so I hope it does well. I'm probably going to pick it up, but we'll have to see. The fact that these are leaking now suggests that a Nintendo Direct is on the way, so I'm very, very excited for that, and I'm very, very anxious to see it, to see what else they announce. I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with releasing old games, by the way, but like when it's all you're doing, like what is Capcom going to do? Like release Monster Hunter World when like Monster Hunter World 2 comes out? Like, is that what's taking them so long? There's no justification for Monster Hunter World to not be on Switch. There's no justification for Resident Evil 7 to not be on Switch. Devil May Cry 5, like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, like Tekken 7. Like, are they really going to try and continue pushing this narrative that like, oh, Switch can't run that? It's a joke. It really, really, really is a joke, and I think that's why third parties are really, really anxious for the new consoles to get here. So people stop asking for the Switch ports. Like, oh, we can't support Nintendo. That's a complete travesty. That's far beneath us. But anyway, Yeah, third parties need to make the switch, and they need to stay on the switch. Like, Xbox and PlayStation need to go. GTFO, no PlayStation 5. Like, don't buy a PlayStation 5. PlayStation has ruined video games, and it's only going to get worse if things continue. Definitely not excited for this. The PS5 is going to be a disaster. I just know it. All right, so last night I wanted to show off some recent acquisitions for my library, and I never got around to it because I ended up getting in a debate, and then I ended up getting really tired and leaving the stream. I completely forgot that I was going to show off quite a few books I bought, and some more are on the way, but this is just some random books I decided to buy. Not every book I wanted to buy is here. Like, I think some stuff is like still being shipped. I spent like $120 on some of this shit. Like, there is a lot of stuff. I'm excited to read. Some of it I've looked at already, but I am excited about the future of expanding my library, my personal collection of books. I have some of the best novels ever written picked out. I have some novels I've heard are really good, and I've had some manga. Again, I'm getting more into comics and manga, and I'm interested in seeing how that's going to turn out. So the first thing I want to show you is a very unexpected thing that I decided to pick up completely out of the blue. The complete life and times of Scrooge McDuck, which is a complete collection of the iconic McDuck legacy. And boy, was I surprised with how much I enjoyed it, because I'm not sure what I was expecting. I went into it knowing that, okay, this is the quintessential Scrooge McDuck comic. It's really popular. Lots of people love it, but I didn't grow up reading McDuck comics. I don't think it's a thing in America as much. I know they're big in Europe. They were big in the 40s or whatever. Maybe not that long ago. They were big a long time ago, is what I'm getting at. They're still popular today, but I didn't know anything about it. I was mostly familiar about DuckTales or Scrooge through the DuckTales remastered game. So I had a general idea of who Scrooge McDuck was, but I had never read a McDuck comic. And so when I read this, I was really, really surprised with how fun it was, how well drawn it was, how much personality it had, the adventure, the character drama, the character moments. The character of Scrooge McDuck is surprisingly compelling. I was really, really surprised at his backstory and sort of seeing him grow up and sort of become who he is. It's I guess it could have been done a little bit better, particularly. The story seems to indicate that Scrooge was always kind of a greedy fuck, but for the most part, man, I think it's really well handled and interesting, and I found it super, super enjoyable. I really, really liked it. I'm really, really liking it so far, and I really, really want to continue. It came with 2 different volumes. So it's not complete. It's complete when you have the other volume that came with it. But I am enjoying it. Definitely hype. I also picked up this Le Morte d'Arthur, the King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Apparently, this is I believe this is a collection of Arthurian legends, which is something I've been really interested to learn more about, because if you haven't read my novel Eye of the Dragon, it does have references to Arthurian lore. So I've been researching. I've been trying to get trying to read more about it as I go into the sequel and get more ideas about where I want things to go for future novels. Not necessarily in Mouth of the Dragon, which is Word of the Dragon Book 2, but for future novels that sort of tie into this this plot element I introduced in Eye of the Dragon. I'm very, very excited about that, and I can't wait to read it. I'm really enjoying the King Arthur novel I bought, The Once and Future King, which I believe is a fantasy classic, but it'll be nice to be more familiar with like the general legend and general like structure of the story. So next I have here is a big surprise. You can see now why I picked out the Scrooge McDuck comic. Junji Ito. Yes, I know. I've read like Uzumaki, Tomy, Gyo, Smashed, that Smash collection. I've been reading a lot of Ito. Okay, and I guess I'm a big fan at this point because I can't stop myself from buying his shit. But yeah, it's a. I'm not sure what this is. I know nothing about it. Like I know next to nothing about every Ito story I buy. Mine has been a life of much shame. I can't even guess myself what it must be to live the life of a human being. So I have no idea what this is about. I'm really interested in seeing, reading more. I love Tomy. I love Uzumaki. Gia was just bad. But I am optimistic. 3 out of 5? Like, it could be good, it could be bad. Who knows? It's another long one, so I'm optimistic that it might be good. We'll have to see. But I'm not sure how likely that is. It could be good, it could be bad. We'll have to see. The Disaster Artist. The hilarious and inspiring story of how a mysterious misfit got past every roadblock in the Hollywood system to achieve success on his own terms. A 6 million cinematic catastrophe called The Room. Hilarious and unexpectedly moving. One of the most honest books about friendship I've read in years. Sharply detailed, funny. Yeah. So, I watched the movie when it came out. Was it 2018, 2019? Around there, right? It probably was it last year? It can't have been last year. How long has it been? Like, holy shit, when did it come out? The Disaster Artist. Because I saw it in theaters. Wait, release date. 2017. What? It's been that long? Holy shit. Well, okay, man. So this movie that I saw in 2017, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I always wanted to read the book, and I'm definitely. I really do want to see what the book is like because I heard there was more. They went into more detail about the creation of The Room, the worst movie ever made in it. So I find it like very interesting. I'm really interested in seeing just what that something is. I did like the movie, so I am interested in seeing what exactly transpires next. And ooh boy, are you excited? Are you excited? Oh boy, you know you love a video game when you buy the official art book of it. Well, for one thing, I have enough money to do that now. But I have indeed bought Fire Emblem Awakening, the official art book. And it has a gorgeous rendering of my waifu, Lucina, on the cover. I don't know what's going on with her hair there. It looks like it's turning red. Is Cordelia secretly her mother? Like, no, of course not. That's never going to happen. I might as well open this on stream. I didn't even realize it was packaged. It just, oh man. What a gorgeous picture. Like, really. I absolutely adore Lucina. I think she's the polar opposite of Edelgard. Edelgard's a piece of shit. I can't emphasize enough. Yeah, I say that, but I'm getting an Edelgard poster and not a Lucina one. I don't know, man. I would get like a Lucina picture like this. I mean, I'm a fan of Lucina. It's just I don't know. She just looks so much like Marth, and I don't want people thinking it is Marth, and it just Fire Emblem Awakening. All concept and illustrations that originally contained handwritten notes in Japanese have been translated into English and updated for this version of the book. Okay. Oh, damn, this artwork is gorgeous. Damn, it is gorgeous. Okay. Damn, I want this. Damn, yeah, okay. Where can I get this as a poster? Like, seriously, look at this shit. Like, is that not, like, amazing? Oh, hang on, I probably should bring up my... so I can see what I'm showing people. Is this not like the most gorgeous shit imaginable? Like you have that iconic box art, and then you have this thing. I'm not sure what this is, but it's just stunning. I want a poster of it. Just unbelievable. Damn, it's just amazing. Marth, a mysterious sword wielder who goes by the name of the legendary Hero King. Okay. Let's yeah, this artwork is gorgeous. I'm glad I bought this. Frederick, Tiki. Damn, I've been meaning to replay Awakening for a while now. Now that I am done with Three Houses, I think I am gonna go ahead and do it. Love Awakening. Virion, Vake, Gaius, Muriel, Kellum, Flavia, Cordelia. Yeah, Cordelia is so attractive. Holy shit. Olivia? Holy crap. Wow. That is not acceptable for YouTube. Wow. If I showed that on screen, I would probably get banned. Holy shit. Yeah. How embarrassing. Unbelievable. I would get banned for that. Libra. I don't care about Libra. Yeah. Sumia. Tharja. Lonku. Tharja is the worst. Grega. Sumia. Henry. Priam. The battle-loving descendant of the Radiant Hero. I am that hypothetical descendant of the Radiant Hero. Do people still pretend he's not descended from Ike? Like, we need to speculate about this, about who did Ike bang? I still don't know. Why is he in this game? I don't understand. They didn't keep it a secret. They confirmed it. Like, it just... yeah, Sure's looking good. Oh, I just realized her Wyvern is named after the classic Fire Emblem 1 Wyvern rider, Minerva, the princess of... where is she from? I don't remember. Rickon, Maribel, Bienfait, Basilio. It's just portraits. I would have liked some more specifics. Wall art. Anna, my waifu. Yeah. I specifically point out Cordelia, Cherche, and Anna as my waifus. So basically, everyone with red hair is like my waifu. That was true up until like Three Houses, to be completely honest with you. Like, I married Hinoka, Jerome, Kajel, Severa. Yeah, I married Severa on Fates too. Damn. Laurent, Brady, Cynthia. Cynthia looks fine with the brown hair. I don't like the blue haired look. Like, Cynthia is like, holy shit. Morgan's, Baby Lucina. What's with Ike's look in this? This is just unbelievable. We have some classic characters here. It's just, oh man. Alm and Celica. Oh wow. Yeah, so like completely gorgeous. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love Fire Emblem Awakening, and I do intend on playing it again soon. Probably as soon as I finish Samus Returns, which really should have happened already. Samus Returns, I swear, Samus Returns has the most difficult boss fights I think I've ever seen in my life, like in an action game. Like I cannot consistently beat the bosses in Samus Returns for some reason. I don't know why. It's just inexplicable. It's just maybe keeping it on the. I don't know why I struggle so much with Samus Returns. It's just I don't know. It just keeps happening. Like Samus Returns is just oof. Oof. There's something about it, man. Something about it.
As the game is notorious for its long load times and more powerful systems.
Yeah, so Samus Returns is just oof. It's such a good game. Like, I'm going to be completely honest here. I suspect that Samus Returns is just as good as Super. Like, I don't even think I'm exaggerating. I really love the combat in Samus Returns. I love, like, the mechanics. I love everything about it. Well, not as good as Super. Like, good in a different way. I need to keep emphasizing that. Samus Returns is a really, really solid remake, and I enjoy it a lot. Like, Nintendo has been hitting it out of the park with their remakes in general. You know what I mean? Like, Samus Returns was GOAT. Echoes, Fire Emblem Echoes was GOAT. Link's Awakening was GOAT. Like, honestly, the Zelda ones have been kind of struggling the most, but, Ocarina was just an upscale. I mean, Majora's Mask and Ocarina, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, like, they all had things that were good about them, but they weren't, like, great re-releases. You know what I mean? The way that, like, Echoes was. You know what I mean? Like, the way that Super Mario Bros. Deluxe was. Do you know what I mean? Like, they really, 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 really need to consistently, like, make more stuff like Echoes, completely overhaul everything. Like, give everything voice acting, like, completely modernize it. You know what I mean? Without distancing themselves from what made it a good game to begin with, because that's what Final Fantasy VII is doing. It's just, like, trying to completely reinvent itself, to try and recapture the magic, and it's going to fail. It's going to fail epically. It's going to be a disaster. I am not optimistic about the future of Final Fantasy VII. Let me see here. What was I talking about? Yeah. So Samus Returns is great. Yeah. Maybe I'll play that next. I wanted to play A Link Between Worlds yet, but I don't have my copy. I'm gonna have to, like, get it back, but I will do that eventually. That's the game I wanted to play next. I really, really wanted to play it again. I was so fired up, and it wasn't there. It was such a disappointment. Press F for A Link Between Worlds, my playthrough of that. But it is coming back, and it will rise again. So, yeah, I can't wait to start talking about that one again. In the meantime, I'll probably play A Link to the Past over again, even though I last played it, like, a couple of months ago. It's been a couple of months, and I'm already eager to get back into A Link to the Past. It's such an iconic game. Like, that, Super Metroid, and Donkey Kong Country, like, I've beaten recently, like, literally, like, just a couple of months ago, and I'm ready to come back to them. Like, that's just how good they are. I'm not even kidding. Like, I could probably beat, like, Donkey Kong Country, like, once every 4 months. Like, no trouble at all. Like, just enjoy myself every single time. Like, it's that good. You know what I mean? Like, I did it with Super Metroid for the longest time. And I think once I get through my backlog, I'm going to start doing it again more often. Because I do like these games more than stuff like Mega Man 2, like Castlevania, like lots of these third-party games. I do like these specific games more than I do most others. They really are true classics, endlessly replayable. Love it. All right. All right, so I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about, like, the books, Super Paper Mario, and I think I'm going to go ahead and play Super Mario Paper Mario again. This wasn't going to be a long stream. I don't think anything is going on tonight. I don't think anything happened today, unless they announce a Nintendo Direct or something. But that can wait till tomorrow, I think. We can speculate on that when it actually happens. For now, PlayStation is doomed. What else is new? Yeah, I've been streaming for 40 minutes anyway. I mostly wanted to talk about Super Paper Mario, and I now want to get back to it. I really, really want to play this game some more, and I think I'm about ready to sign off for the night. So, thank you for tuning in. I'm very, very excited about doing this show and talking about games and talking about things of interest in. I'm very, very, very much enjoying myself. And until then, until next time, I will. Until next time, like I will be back, and it's gonna be great. And we're gonna talk about the next Nintendo Direct that I'm sure is on the horizon. Talk about books, talk about games, talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, eventually. I will be back. It's going to be great. Look forward to it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you all